Howdy, it's your pal Vinny here again to talk about another obscure topic that's not necessarily Super Brawl. Now, unless you've been living under a rock lately, you would have probably already noticed just like the huge branch of Mario content coming out. We have Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, 1000 Year Door Remake, among other things. But with that, we're getting a new Princess Peach game. Yeah, something we haven't seen for years. And recently there's been a small controversy surrounding the situation, which I kind of want to touch bases on today. As someone who's just really big on character design and just like the little details like that in general, I felt like this would be an interesting topic for me to talk about. Probably won't do well on the channel, but I figured, why not? So we're going to have a little bit of unscripted chatter while we talk about what's been going on and see where things go from there. So, Princess Peach Showtime is the name of the game, and recently they released some new key art, which is an altered version of the art that fans were already familiar with. Now, if you're looking at what I have on the screen already, I'm pretty sure you can see the difference. A lot of Princess Peach fans are upset at the fact that Peach now resembles her design closer to the movie than she is in her regular appearances in the games. Now, as someone who never really got to state their opinions on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I absolutely loved it. Loved Peach's characterization in that movie, and anyone who knows me knows that I hate the character of Princess Peach in the games. But yeah, no, in the movie she was a fun, great character. The movie itself was fun and it was pretty great. And I just want to talk about how I feel about this change that they made, because this is very obvious marketing push. That's all it is. I don't think they're gonna go and change your in-game model or anything crazy like that. But I want to talk about some of the reactions that it's gotten. Firstly, let's talk about how the community is reacting to reactions to the design. Now, the design has received a little pushback from the community, almost a vocal minority, if you will, and it's gotten to a point to where they're making it seem as though majority of the fan base is reacting the way they say they are, and I just don't think that's a very accurate representation of what's going on. As a matter of fact, I'd reckon we have more people reacting to the reactions than actual reactions. We have more people complaining about people complaining, if that makes any sense. I'll show you a few screenshots on screen, but yeah, no, super weird scenarios. As a matter of fact, I'll read some off now. Mario fans that are now complaining about Mario's current voice in Peach renders. I hope you know that this is what y'all have been making fun of Sonic fans complaining about for decades. Mario fans when they change the expression of a character on a box art. Nintendo has been on Sonic fans' ass for years over subtle design and voice actor arguments for now, and look where we are. Hi, this is Editing Vinny. I want to apologize for just being extremely illiterate. I'll learn from my mistakes. I should have did another take, and frankly, I was just feeling too lazy to. So, I'm going to be taking a break from social media until I can grow as a person. Please buy my merch in the... We have one from Tails channel here, which I find particularly hilarious. Why did they change his design? And then it's a picture of Sonic, and then it's Sonic with eyebrows. Seeing people freak out over this after how they treated Sonic fans is so funny. The irony of making such a big deal over Peach's face when they called us crazy for talking about quills. Suddenly, design details are important when it's a character you care about, huh? Now, any eagle-eyed viewer, and by that I mean anybody with a pair of eyeballs, can see that most of those reactions are from Sonic fans, which again, I find particularly hilarious because it's more Sonic fans complaining about Mario fans complaining than it is actual Mario fans complaining. As a matter of fact, I'll put it up on screen right here. Most of the reactions are generally positive to the design change. It's mostly just 3 or so people on Twitter that are making a big deal about the design, and I feel like that those reactions are definitely overblown. I'm not going to say their account names just because if you go on Twitter and just look up Princess Peach design, you'll surely find them. And I also just don't want to give them too much attention because, yeah, no, I just feel like they're making a bigger deal of it than it actually is, and I feel like those people are kind of wrong because I get that you care about the character, but it is not as deep as you're saying it is, I assure you. Now that we're on the topic, let's talk about Sonic fans. Sonic fans for decades have been known to be upset about design changes for Sonic, which I feel like sometimes it's valid. Like from classic to modern, that's a pretty big jump, you know. We have the small, pudgy, you know, black-eyed, you know, kind of cool classic Sonic that's a lot more Japanese in its design, and then we have the tall, lanky, green-eyed, talking, you know, deeper emphasis on attitude, longer quill, modern Sonic. And I can imagine when that design change first happened that fans would be upset. Back in 1999, early 2000s, yeah, I mean, if you knew the character, how they looked before, and all of a sudden they had a design change that drastic, even though people get made fun of for being upset about him having green eyes, I feel like it's completely justified because it is, you know, a drastic design change from what you were used to. So a lot of people that make fun of those people now are people that grew up with green-eyed Sonic, and I grew up with green-eyed Sonic, but I can see why they would be upset because that is a huge thing. But that's not what we're talking about here. The reason why Sonic fans get made fun of now, because they complain about the tiniest details in Sonic's design that they're upset about. Like, hold up. Ooh, if you're a Sonic fan, trigger warning, I'm about to jump scare you. Uh-oh. Ooh, you didn't like that? Hang on. Ooh. You know, it's October, so that was pretty spooky. If you're not deep into the Sonic fandom, you probably didn't get that at all, but that's basically the level of detail we're dealing with here. You know, just like super tiny, minute things. This is also the whole Princess Peach situation, and the greater scheme of things is also pretty small. But to say that they just changed the angle of her face and did dynamic shading is a flat out lie. I'm gonna put up the two pictures now, and like, you can see that one is the video game Peach and one is obviously a lot closer to the movie design for Princess Peach. I've actually had a few people on Twitter call me someone who doesn't know how shadows work because I said that the face is indeed different. Okay, Justin, I do not like video game Princess Peach by any means. Not a fan of her as a character. But however, I do care about character design, so I figured I'd throw my hat into the ring, and so I made a little edit just to like kind of change Princess Peach's facial expression around to show that this is more of a matter than a facial expression change. This is an entire face remodeling. As a matter of fact, off the top of my head, what I can remember, they made her eyebrows a little bit longer, like the movie. They made her nose shape more like the movie. It's a lot bigger. Her eyes are a twinge closer together, not too much, but to where it's very noticeable. And to just facial geometry with the shadows, it's a lot different than how it is in Peach's more Japanese original design, if that makes sense. And before you know, blow the whistle and send the hounds off me, I'm not mad or angry or even really, you know, affected by the fact that she does have a more Western design in the movie and that she looks more Western on the box art now. Personally, again, I don't care. As a matter of fact, I think the change is pretty badass. I think that Princess Peach, you know, as a whole, either one looks good. I like the kind and friendly Princess Peach, and I like the more badass superhero Peach. The problem is how big of a deal people are making of it, I guess I should say. So, again, I feel like being upset with some Princess Peach fans for being a little upset about the design being different, I feel like it's a little mean-spirited and foolish, since I genuinely do feel like if they don't like it, they have every reason to not like it, because again, this is indeed like a different face. This is not the same face, but at the same time, I don't think it's so big of a deal that we need to start, you know, going on Nintendo strikes and making Twitter threads about how they ruined your childhood, because again, I assure you it's not that deep. But let me know what you think about the design change, because honestly, like I said, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, like I said before, it's a business decision. They did it purely because the movie just came out, the movie was super successful, and that's obviously having an impact on the product. It happens with every big IP. It happens with Spider-Man. It happened with Sonic, actually, Sonic Frontiers, with him having more electric-based attacks. Even his power-up is, they have like a little power-up transition scene. It's like ripped directly from the movie, basically. Or like they have his phantom attacks that, again, are more similar to how quickly movie Sonic moves, where there's multiple instances of him just because how fast he's moving. And even funnier is I've seen Sonic fans also complaining about the fact that Sonic uses lightning as his main element now instead of wind, and that's a deep cut. You've got to be deep in the community to even care about something like that. So yeah, I feel like Sonic fans should be the last one talking about anything concerning design changes. But also, I feel like Princess Peach fans need to calm down because it's not that big of a deal. Alright, in my next video, we're going to be talking about why I'm upset Knuckles is no longer black.